お前は一人じゃない。俺がそばにいるんだからよ。お前の居場所はこの俺だ。
何を。
感じろよ。
Welcome back to Hagare Yusha no Aesthetica. The episode starts with Miu trying on bikinis, but can't seem to decide on one. Meanwhile, a meeting is taking place in Elizard's castle. Pope Voke and Balaam are proposing to eliminate the remaining devils after Gallius's death. They also mention that Gallius's daughter, Miu, is missing and suggest capturing her. Risti disagrees, saying Miu isn't a threat to Elizard, but Pope Voke and Balaam are already on board. Balaam reveals that Miu is in another world, far from Elizard. While they're hanging out, Akatsuki bumps into Kuzua and Izumi, who are looking fly in their swimsuits. He's stoked and tells them so. Then Miu rolls up, wearing a white swimsuit that's barely holding together. Akatsuki can't help but ask why she's wearing something so embarrassing, and Miu explains that she chose it with her eyes closed. Before they can really get into the fun, Miu invites Haruka to join in. Haruka's not really feeling it, but Ryuhei convinces her to go for it. So Haruka hops in while Ryuhei chills in the shade and Minami works on her tan. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who would win, Naruto or Luffy? Get 4 people to reply to your comment and be shouted out in our next video. Now, back to the recap. As they head to the beach house, a commotion about an unusual event breaks out. Suddenly, Kaido pops up working his part-time gig at the beach. After meeting Akatsuki and the girls, Kaido pulls out a flyer about a unique game of tag. He convinces Akatsuki to participate, and soon Miu, Kuzua, Izumi, and Haruka are in too. Kaido helps the organizers select Akatsuki as it, and the game begins. The goal is to find Akatsuki and remove his swim trunks within an hour. Akatsuki jumps off a cliff, and the chase begins, reminding him of Valkyria and her army of maids back in Elizard. The first 2 girls to find him are no match for Akatsuki, as he strips them of their bras, leaving them exposed. But more contestants soon appear, and Miu wonders why Haruka's trunks haven't been removed yet. Haruka, however, proves to be a difficult catch, stealing bras from other girls and knocking down other guys. And so, the wild and hilarious game of tag continues on the beach. While the other guys beaten and the girls exposed by Akatsuki, there are only 4 girls left in the contest: Miu, Kuzua, Izumi, and Haruka. Izumi had a plan. She wants Miu and Haruka to take a break, while she and Kuzua can take care of Akatsuki, standing on the water. Akatsuki was about to remove Izumi's bra when he fell for a trap. As the girls are going to remove his swim trunks, he disappeared and came out of the sand below Izumi, taking her bra. Akatsuki will now remove Kuzua's swimsuit, but Kaido stopped him because he told him that if Kuzua's swimsuit is removed, the show that he is recording will be cancelled. So Akatsuki moved on and chased Haruka while she hid in the woman's shower room, with Minami taking a shower to remove all the oil from her body. Akatsuki found Haruka as the other girls, except Minami, who ran away. While he is distracted by Minami getting out, Haruka got her advantage, until she slipped while the soap is on the ground. Akatsuki saved her from falling down, and then he took her bra, thus eliminating her. Miu is the only one left as she hides underwater, but Akatsuki appeared behind her and helps her cover herself by touching her breast due to her swimsuit exposing her. The time was up, which means that the special tag game is over, and since both Akatsuki and Miu are in the water, which is off limits, they are both disqualified, thus ending the contest in a draw. Afterward, he grabbed her to take her home. In the middle of a tournament brawl, things begin to heat up. Miu seems lost, clueless about the lifted restrictions that Kuzua tries to explain. Apparently, their ADs not only create weapons, but also transform their clothes, allowing them to wear battle armors. But poor Miu feels utterly embarrassed by her armor, leaving her breasts almost exposed. To make matters worse, Akatsuki teases her about attracting the stares of other guys, and Miu can't take it. She shrieks, mortified by the attention. Can't blame her though, she's clearly not used to being the center of attention. Akatsuki's feeling feisty and decides to take on the student council head-on. He emerges from the fight victorious, sporting only a tiny scratch on his face. But just as he's about to deal the final blow, Kaido shows up out of nowhere and puts a stop to the madness. Apparently, there's a major crisis brewing. The tournament system is busted. The Babel barrier's gone kaput, and to top it all off, there's been an explosion near Miu, Kuzua, and Izumi. Akatsuki bolts off to find them, praying that Miu is still in one piece. In the data room, Professor Kubota pops in, and the workers break it to him that the system's crashed. Over on the flip side, Akatsuki and his comrades in the student council, Haruka, Minami, and Ryohei, reach the wreckage where his teammates were last seen. There, Akatsuki discovers Kuzua and Izumi beaten to a pulp. Kuzua's hanging in there by a thread, but Izumi's taken a heavy hit after taking the brunt of the attack to protect her. Kuzua reveals that they were no match for the powerhouse Phil, who's too much for them to handle. Plus, to top it off, Miu's made a run for it from Phil's wrath. Cornered, Miu begins to cry. At the last minute, Akatsuki finally showed up, enraged at Phil for making her cry. It's about to go down as Akatsuki and Phil gear up for battle. The fight is on and things are getting heated. Suddenly, it's revealed that Phil is the one who caused chaos in the ranking tournament. He even claims that Miu is a demon from a lizard. Akatsuki isn't buying it though, he just wants to beat Phil up, plain and simple. The two clash swords, and Akatsuki uses his Renkai Kikisho to scratch Phil's face. Then, he deflects Phil's magic attack with it. To finish things off, Akatsuki fires an energy ball that knocks Phil down. The fight escalates, and Phil even tries to stab Akatsuki's neck, but Akatsuki's Renkai Kikicho protects him, and he knocks Phil to the ground. Victory is his. After Akatsuki triumphed over Phil, Miu bolted towards the cliff's edge. Akatsuki chased after her and found her desperate and without a destination. Miu confessed that, as long as she lived, she would destroy both Alizard and Earth. To put an end to her life, she plunged into the water, but Akatsuki snatched her from the jaws of death. Furious with her, he reminded Miu that her father had entrusted him with her safety, and that she had been denying his wishes. He implored her to live and save everyone, reassuring her that he would always be there to support her. Despite her worries, Akatsuki remained resolute that nothing would happen to him. When Miu failed to heed his words, he nipped her ear and kissed her fiercely, before they headed back to Izumi and Kuzua. Suddenly, Akatsuki collapsed, poisoned. Miu scrambled to suck the venom out of his neck, determined to save the man who had saved her. Miu took the still poisoned Akatsuki to the forest and somehow took his clothes off as well as hers, except her panties. She continued to cure him by sucking the poison out of him, and when her body felt warmer, he grabbed her butt and started to grope her. When Miu was about to fall off, Akatsuki grabbed her breast as he was awake all along. Once again, she felt so embarrassed about what he did to her, causing her to punch him in the face. Then, out of nowhere, Phil returned after regaining consciousness. He was impressed that Akatsuki managed to survive being poisoned before he was beaten. Later on, Miu confronts Phil once again, and upon hearing his voice, she realizes that he's fused with Zahark. Phil attempts to take Miu back to Alizard with them, but Akatsuki comes to her rescue. The two engage in a fierce battle, with Akatsuki ultimately defeating Phil. However, as Phil tries to unleash his ultimate magic power, Akatsuki's Leviatine loses power, leaving Miu in danger. In a bid to protect her, Akatsuki rushes to her side, and the resulting magic explosion is massive. Akatsuki's Leviatine sword crumbles to bits in front of Miu's eyes, causing a massive explosion that breaks off his AD. Miu's heart sinks, and she urges him to stop fighting, since his weapon is now useless. But Akatsuki won't give up that easily, and tells her to believe in him, no matter how hopeless it seems. To her surprise, Haruka stands up and donates her AD to the cause. Akatsuki pops it into his arm just in time for Phil to attack once more. The final battle commences as Akatsuki lands a punch on Zahark, only to be hit by Phil's magic. Miraculously, he survives and deflects Zahark's red beam while slowly falling from the sky. Miyu cries out, refusing to accept Akatsuki's defeat. He then uses her AD and manages to avoid Phil's final attack before slicing Zahark in half. Victory is theirs, and Miyu can't contain her tears of joy as she runs to Akatsuki. They did it. Finally, to end off the episode, we cut to our anime's conclusion. Inside Akatsuki's house, Miyu was getting ready to spill her story to Kuzuha and Izumi when Akatsuki made an unwelcome grab at her chest. Naturally, Miyu responded with a swift punch to his face. Suddenly, Akatsuki reappeared and announced that he was headed back to Elizard for a week to investigate something fishy. The girls wanted to tag along, and Akatsuki agreed. Outside, Haruka was frantically searching for someone to deliver an important message from Professor Kubota. Just as she was about to ring the doorbell, Kaido materialized before her, playfully teasing her indecisiveness. They soon spotted a dimensional shift coming from Akatsuki's house and rushed inside. Before they knew it, they were being transported to Elizard along Akatsuki, Miyu, Izumi, and Kuzuha. As they prepared to take off, Kaido used his chains to latch onto Miyu's hand, ensuring his own spot on the ride. Akatsuki took a moment to reassure Miyu and encourage her to believe in him. With that, they were off to Elizard, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. What a way to end a series. Go check out our other recaps and relax.